The shit hit the fan on the second salon because I nearly lost it all.
What was dying?
I was just alone. Oh fuck, I don't belong here. So it changed my whole business model. Profit is king.
What was the cost to you of not looking back and seeing that bigger picture? Amy Lewis.
Hi.
CEO and founder of the Mooeys Group, a multi-arm beauty business, started from your spare room and now building towards 50 salons in the UK. Now, you've deliberately done nails and waxing in an industry where everyone tries to do everything. What is the power of the niche?
Oh, I think if you can just be really, really good at a few things, it's so much more valuable as a business. But Gordon Ramsay was doing Kitchen Nightmares when they first come out, right? He goes into these restaurants and they all do everything and they do it a bit shit. So he niches down and gets them just doing like 20 items and doing them really well. And I was like, that's what the beauty industry needs. Because everybody is doing everything because they're scared of missing out. They're scared of not making enough money or not providing all the treatments that everybody wants. So then they kind of cover everything. What if you just have a few treatments done brilliantly, reduce that stock holding by 75%, reduce your training costs and just niche, and then you become an absolute expert, which means the clients just go to you because that's what you're good at. That was my theory. I followed the Kitchen Nightmare plan. I wanted it so whoever you come to, they're all good at everything we do. Makes it really efficient.
That's interesting because when you say, I just want it to be done my way, how do you then therefore find the product market fit, make sure that that's actually something that the customer wants as well?
I love surveys. I survey the shit out of everything. So before I come up with it, when I come up with an idea, before I do anything, I survey it. I actually thought everyone would want to come to my home because I was just building a business specialising in intimate waxing originally. And I thought, well, if they all want to come to my home, great. But actually, everybody, 100%, I had like 58 responses. I know, I'd just done it on Facebook. Yeah, it was great. And those 58 responses none of them said they wanted to go to my home. They all said they wanted to go to a salon, have a professional service where they could go and experience it. And I was like, good shout. So it changed my whole business model. And then from there, every time I've grown the business, every time I've introduced something, every time I've done something, I've done a survey. And with memberships, I done a survey for our clients and I got 460 responses. And I built my entire membership plan about what my clients that come to me currently want. You're building communities. I didn't build a salon just to be a salon. I want communities every town I go to. I'm so passionate about it. I want to create like really safe places that people can come, be completely themselves, be really welcomed, not judged, just like really treated beautifully. But with that community comes loyalty. And if you get it right, those people want to be part of it. They want to see you grow. They want to see you do well. But they also love that they're part of it.
So you set up one salon.
Yeah.
You start building that community.
Yeah.
Then you release your own product.
Second salon, then products.
Second salon, then product. Then what comes next? How does that then grow?
The shit hit the fan on the second salon because I nearly lost it all. But simple maths, which is really stupid because I love a spreadsheet. What had happened is I hadn't added the two deficits together, but also the new salon was running at a lower, even more of a loss because it was new. And I nearly lost it all because of 10 grand. Oh. I know, right? And because I had two kids under 3, I was like, I can't deal with the operational burden. And I spoke to my bank at the time and just to talk about like lending and get me out of this hellhole of 10 grand deficit. And they wouldn't lend me the money because the banks never lend you money when you need it. So, but she said, but when you get out of this, because you'll find a way. When you get out of this, I want you to talk to me about franchising because I think this brand is perfect for franchise. And I was like, oh, okay, great shout. And then I think my youngest was like 6 months old. And my husband was like, let's just go to the franchise show in Birmingham. Let's just go. And I was like, yeah, cool. Don't know anything about this. And I remember walking into the Birmingham NEC and it was like a sea of grey suits, like white middle-class men everywhere. I was like, oh, fuck, I don't belong here. This is mad. And I'm there in like bright coloured coats or whatever. And then I had to breastfeed my baby in a seminar. Oh my God, it was just a sea of suits. And the consultant on the stage, like I could see him wince when I was doing it. And oh God, It makes, but it was one of those things. My husband was walking around with the toddler, and I was like, I have to feed her. She's 6 months old, but I really want to learn. And the seminar was like, how to franchise your business. I was like, that's what I need. Tell me how. However, I did have a woman come up to me afterwards and was like, you're going to go really, really far. And that's really impressive. And I was like, thanks. Didn't really have a choice, but thanks.
You mentioned NatWest Accelerator, but also you went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program in Oxford.
Yeah.
If I take you back to that time, you said that it kind of gave you back your fire. But before that, what was dying?
I was just alone. I haven't got that many people in my circle. We haven't got any entrepreneurs in my family. There's no one else doing it. So where do you go? Where do you go to find your people? Because an entrepreneur's mind is very unique. We don't think the same as everybody else. So I've always spent my life feeling like the odd one out. Like I don't fit in anything. So I just kind of went wherever I could to get some answers. And I think that's what attracted me to things like the accelerator program in Goldman Sachs. Because I was lonely. Yeah. You know, fundamentally.
And if you could almost distill your learnings from that program into 3 points, what would they be?
Just because you've got a massive turnover doesn't mean it's massive profit. These people are turning over millions and millions and millions. And then actually when you get into the nuts and bolts of it, they're all struggling with the same thing. They're all struggling with cash flow, they're all struggling with staff problems, they're all struggling with investment, everything at all different levels. Profit is king, you know, like, and the revenue and all these big shiny numbers that we all see, like hit this figure and do this and 10x that, it's all bullshit, because actually it's what your profit is that matters. But also the importance of connection and community, and it put that fire in my belly to be like, I'm actually going to do something brilliant with this. And there was an element of validation, I think, is really important. When you've got someone like Goldman Sachs that goes, yeah, you're good enough to be on here. You're good enough to swim with the big fishes. You're good enough. You're going to be all right. I was like, oh, I'm actually okay. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. So it gave me the confidence to give myself a kick up the arse and say, yeah, I'm going to do it.
We have loads of founders upstairs working and are exactly trying to firefight. Yeah. They should, like you say, be analysing their foundations. Yeah. What is step one? What's the blueprint to do that?
Take yourself out of the business. Turn off your emails. I know, right? It goes so counterproductive. Like, you think, oh my God, but then what's going to happen? My business is going to fall apart. It's not going to fall apart. No one died. Like, you're all going to be good. Everything's fine.
I want to go back to one thing that you said, which is that nobody died.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
And I love that saying because it allows us to see the bigger picture. Because we're so in the weeds and we're wanting to do everything and firefight. You don't step back and see the bigger picture. Yeah. What was the cost to you of not looking back and seeing that bigger picture?
So much. I nearly lost everything. I've made some really stupid decisions. But also, if you don't give yourself time to think clearly, you're not leading with respect and love and all these things. Like, I'm such a feminine leader. I've got a masculine energy, but I'm such a feminine leader. Like, I literally want to lead with people. But when you haven't given yourself that big vision thinking time, you are literally firefighting and you're not making good decisions and you're not leading with love and empathy. You're not bringing in people. You're just making these decisions, and it becomes quite toxic. And I had some mega problems in one of my salon, and it was probably because of the way I was leading, because the way I was growing. I think it was collectively. I was scaling. I was so focused on the mission, but actually forgetting about everything that was happening.
Amy, we have a closing tradition on this podcast, which is where the guest, regardless of who they are, answers this one question.
Yes.
And that is, what is one message that you've never sent, but you wish everyone would receive?
Comparisonitis is a killer of all spirits. Because it kills your soul, doesn't it? When you're so busy looking at everybody else and looking at everybody else, worried about what everyone else is doing, comparing yourself to others, you're not focusing on what you've got and what you're doing. And if you're finding yourself getting into that hole of comparing yourself to others, like, ditch it all, ditch the media, turn it all off, put the dickheads in the dickhead bin, get out of there and focus on what you've got, because it will absolutely rip through your spirit, if you're an entrepreneur especially.
Amy, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I think your story from where you've come from, what you've learned as a business, how you've been able to grow into this fantastic 50 salons across the UK, management. Not yet. It will be by 2030. Is absolutely extraordinary, and I've taken so many value bits of information from it. So thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.